Kia ora koutou, it's day 6 of my 2-week trading challenge. One live trade today on NEHC. I got a clean entry but didn't hold long enough to catch the full move. Still finished green and kept to my rules, so let's break it down. So when I got up, the leading gainer was Creative Global Technology, CGTL. Unfortunately, this had already made its move before 6:30 and was on the back side of the move and pulling back. So it sort of held this level here, but I wasn't interested in taking a trade on the back side of the move. The other stock that I sort of saw as well at the but the start of pre-market was YHC. And this popped at around 640, 642. I saw it here as it was making a second candle and pulling back to 166, which would have been an alright entry actually, just in here on that breakout candle. As it was pulling back there, micro pullback entry in at 166, 167, somewhere around there, pushing through to 189. But I didn't really trust it. I wasn't quite sure if this stock was going to go far. It didn't have any news, so I wasn't quite sure why it was up. But as soon as it hit 189, it basically rolled over back to VWAP, and that was that one. Then CVAC was also a stock that I watched this morning, which popped at around the same time as YHC. I saw this pop up here. I didn't obviously buy in on this stock, but this big topping tail here I didn't like, so I didn't even paper trade it. Down here around $5. It did hold around $5 and pushed up, but big red volume red candle that dropped, you know, what's that, 50 cents or so, and then it just sort of grinded up through VWAP and up to 534. Couldn't sort of break that level, and once again I wasn't interested in this. It was a bit too expensive for me anyway. Only could afford with this account 27 shares, so you know it has to go $1 to make 27 bucks, or 50 cents to make 10. So didn't buy in on that. It was too expensive, and it didn't look like it was really going anywhere. It sort of hit that level there and then went sideways through pretty much the whole of pre-market. Well, actually it did go through the whole pre-market, that level. So didn't take any trades on that. And then finally NEHC, which I did trade. This popped just after 7 o'clock, yep. So it was a bit lower price stock than I usually trade, kind of a penny stock. So it had popped up from 53 cents, and turn that off. So it popped up here. I saw it as it was pushing up to 87 cents in the second green candle here. Pushed up here, came back down, and pushed up again here. Big topping tail though, but held the VWAP. Again, big topping tail and held the VWAP. So I thought I'll jump in here at 87 cents, looking for a push to $1. So when it pushed up here, I got in at 87 cents, which was fine. That was a pretty decent entry around VWAP on that pullback. It did drop a little bit after I got in, but well within my stop loss limit. And then it pushed up to around 95 cents, where it struggled to break that level. And because it struggled there to break that level, and it was a bit below here, I decided to get out early. I decided to take my profit off the table. I was up because I was with 160 shares, and I was up about, or I made a profit of $11.62, getting out on the bid around 94 cents. So it was a pretty quick trade, but kind of regretted selling so quickly. The trade itself was about, I don't know, 58 seconds or something like that. And really, if I'd held through and gave it some time to work, excuse me, if I gave it some time to work, then I could have been out over $1, which was, you know, I was looking for it to break up to $1 and break over $1, and that's where I was looking at taking my exit was, you know, just over $1, $1.02, $1.04, somewhere around there, was sort of my exit range. But I got scared out. Hit 95, there was a couple of bigger sell orders on the ask, and I, yeah, hit the sell button pretty quickly. It obviously did push up to around $1.08, $1.09, and then had a pullback down to close to the VWAP again, where it rallied and went up to a high of 128. I doubt I would have held through to that. Yeah, but you know, the re-entry here, even if I sold there, you know, I could have re-entered here at $1. As it pulled back here and pushed back up, you know, could have been in at 103, looking for a push higher over this break point here at 109 for, you know, 128, 120. But that was pretty much it, really. It was a good entry, but early exit, very early exit on this trade. Need to do better holding longer and giving the trade to work, because it wasn't even at my minimum, you know, sell price target range. So usually I'm looking for 10 cents, and you know, I was 3 cents short of that, so it's not good. But profitable in the end, so at least I'm still green. Decided not to take any more trades on it. I'm not very good with these penny stocks, but yeah, I wanted to protect the profit I'd made today, and that was pretty much it. The only other stock I really saw after that was SOAR. So SOAR, this popped up around 8 o'clock, and I thought there was a good entry here at, where was it? I can't remember actually. That was around 320 here for the pushback to 387, 370. Yeah, there's an aggressive entry here at around $3, and then around the whole dollar for a push to 370, and then again down here, looking at holding the 9 EMA at $3 as well, for a pushback to 388. I took a paper trade on this. Here it is. So I took a paper trade on this in at 369, which was a little high as it pulled back in this red candle, but 369 at this round, the previous high, looking for a pushback to $4, and I did hold this for quite a while, but it did hold the 9 EMA, and it eventually curled and pushed up to $4, and I took the profit off the table there. I had a preset order at 4 there. It did push higher to 422, possibly could have held for that, but I was happy with that trade there, 369 through to $4. That was pretty much it. After that, I called it a day and shut it down. So only the one trade today, and it wasn't that one. That was yesterday. NEHC, 160 shares in at 87 cents, out at 94 cents. Only 7.26 cents a share, and a profit of $11.62. So how does it look for the week? Not too bad. Some good green days in a row, and that's really positive. So if I can keep that going, keep the green days rolling, and then I can look at maybe getting some better trades in. Holding a bit longer today would have been a bit more profit, but it is what it is. So not quite out of the hole yet. I'm still down around $13 gross. I've still got to add in the fees actually, so that will definitely increase that. But gross, I'm only $13 down on the month. So hopefully, if I get a good trade in the next session, then I can be out of the drawdown, and my equity curve coming back into the positive for the month. So that's the goal for tonight, and as long as I execute my trade and my strategy well, then that shouldn't be an issue. So looking back, I'm happy with the entry and the discipline to take just one trade, but I've got to work on trusting the setup and giving trades more room to play out. The $10 goal is important, but I don't want to keep cutting myself out of the good trades too early. That wraps up day 6. I'm heading into tomorrow, still focused on execution and trusting the plan. Follow along to see how the rest of this challenge plays out. I will see you tomorrow. Hei a popo.